She had exactly 47 seconds to decide if she would destroy her entire life or save it. A girl from nothing, a drink that wasn't water, and one wrong door number. But here's what made it even crazier. She walked into the wrong room, and the man inside wasn't the predator waiting for her. He was something far more dangerous. He was her obsession. He was also the only person who could protect her. And by the time she realized what had really happened, it was already too late. Everything had changed. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell, because the love stories we cover here, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about fate. Let's dive in. Amara had been invisible for 2 years. Seoul didn't care about invisible girls. Every morning at 5 a.m. before the city woke up, she was already mopping marble floors on the 42nd level of Korea's largest media empire. The building was a cathedral of glass and steel, and she was the ghost haunting its corridors. Her skin gleamed, dark and luminous, but nobody saw it. Her braids were always perfect, but nobody noticed. Her uniform was spotless, but she wore it like a curse. She was visible only to the security cameras and to the man who never looked at her. The CEO emerged from his office like clockwork, Kang Chi. Even his name sounded untouchable. Black suit that cost more than her monthly salary. Shoes Italian made and polished to a mirror shine. Hair so dark it looked like it held secrets. And eyes. God, his eyes. Always fixed on his phone. Always moving faster than sound. Always running towards something she could never reach. "Good morning, sir," Amara whispered every single day. He never slowed, never acknowledged, never looked up. But she kept greeting him anyway, because those 2 seconds were the only time she felt real. After he passed, she could smell him, something expensive and woody and absolutely intoxicating, lingering in the air like proof he actually existed, like proof she had actually touched the same space he occupied. By evening, she transformed into someone else. Different uniform, different hotel, same exhaustion. The 5-star resort downtown was all silk and marble and people who cost money just to breathe. That's where Kwan came every night. Tall, bronze skin, voice like expensive whiskey, eyes that ate you alive. He wore a different Rolex each week. His suits were art, and from the moment he saw Amara, he decided he was going to own her. "You move like you understand every object you touch," he told her one night while she cleaned near his private booth. "Like nothing is beneath you. I like that. I like you." Amara didn't respond. She had rules. Work stayed separate from everything else. But Kwan wasn't someone who accepted the word no. Night after night, he stationed himself in the same corner, watching her, waiting. Once he left 50,000 won folded into a paper crane on her cleaning cart. She threw it away without touching it, but Kwan just smiled. He was patient. He was also terrifying. That particular evening, Amara could barely move. Her legs felt like concrete. Her mind was fogging over, and she couldn't understand why. The grind was destroying her from the inside out, but she kept her spine straight, her face composed, her uniform immaculate, because that's what survival looked like when you had nothing else. She clocked in at the hotel and Suki was already waiting by the staff station. Suki had worked with her at the office too. They were friends, or so Amara thought. "Ara, baby," Suki said, pressing a cold glass of mango juice into her hands. The condensation was perfect. The drink was a gorgeous golden color. "You're running on empty." "I made this for you. Just drink it. You deserve one moment where someone takes care of you." Amara's guard dropped. She was so tired. The juice was so cold. It tasted like relief. She drank it all, and Suki watched her with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Roommate 42 just called down," Suki said softly. "They want a special cocktail delivered." Top priority. Amara grabbed the tray. The elevator doors closed. And with every floor that climbed, the world started spinning. Her body felt heavy. Her thoughts were moving through honey, but she kept walking because stopping wasn't an option for girls like her. She reached room 748. She rang the bell, and when the door opened, her entire soul stopped. Kang Chi, the man she had greeted for 2 years, the man who never saw her, the man who was standing in front of her in a dress shirt with his sleeves rolled up, looking confused and absolutely breathtaking. "I didn't order anything," he said, his voice like dark chocolate. Amara couldn't speak. She just walked inside and set the drink down. The room was spinning. Her skin was on fire. Something was wrong with her body and she couldn't control what happened next. She turned to him. Her hand found his chest, and before her brain could scream at her to stop, she kissed him. He pulled back immediately. "What are you doing?" His face was pure shock. But Amara couldn't stop. "Please," she whispered, her voice desperate and raw. "Don't stop. Please don't stop." He stared at her like he was seeing her for the first time, and maybe he was. Something shifted in his expression. Recognition. And then he kissed her back. Not the kiss of a stranger, the kiss of a man who had been waiting. His hands were gentle, then urgent. He lifted her up and carried her to the bedroom. And for the first time in 2 years, Amara didn't feel invisible. Meanwhile, across the hotel in room 842, Kwan was losing his mind. The room was perfect. Candles everywhere. Everything prepared exactly as he'd planned. The drink was supposed to arrive with Amara inside 20 minutes. He had paid Suki well. She had promised. She had assured him this would work. 30 minutes passed, then 40, then 50. Kwan called reception with a voice sharp enough to cut glass. "I placed an order almost an hour ago. Where is it?" The receptionist stammered an apology, but Suki couldn't be found. And Amara wasn't coming, and Kwan's entire plan had just collapsed because she was in the wrong room with the wrong man. Except maybe she was in exactly the right room. Amara woke up to sunlight and regret. Her body felt brand new and completely destroyed at the same time. She lay there for a moment, reality crashing back piece by piece. The drink, Suki's smile, the kiss, his hands, the way he had looked at her like she mattered. Kang Chi was still sleeping beside her, his dark hair messy, his features softer than she'd ever seen them. Even unconscious, he looked like he owned the world. She slipped out of bed quietly and started getting dressed. That's when she heard his voice. Amara. Deep, awake. She froze. He was sitting up now, the sheet across his waist. His eyes weren't cold, they were worried. "Did I hurt you? Do you remember any of it?" She couldn't lie. "Someone gave me something before I came here. I didn't choose this." Kang Chi's expression changed. Something protective flickered across his face. "I thought you were just overwhelmed," he said quietly, emotionally, "but I should have stopped it immediately. I didn't. That's on me." Amara turned away from him. "You didn't even know my name until last night." Kang Chi stood up and walked toward her. When he spoke, his voice was stripped of everything except honesty. "I've known your name since the first day you started working there. I know you arrive at 5:47 a.m. I know you always greet me even though I never responded. I know you tie your braids the exact same way every morning. I know I made myself not see you because it was easier than admitting how badly I wanted to." Amara's breath caught. "Every single day I felt you in that hallway, and every single day I forced myself to walk past. Not because I didn't notice you, because I noticed you too much." She looked at him, tears burning in her eyes. He reached for her hand. "I'm going to fix this," he said. "Everything that happened. I'm taking responsibility for all of it." She didn't believe him, but she didn't argue either. She just left. The lobby exploded when Kwan saw Suki. He crossed the distance in 3 strides and grabbed her wrist before she could move. His voice was quiet, which made it infinitely more terrifying. "Where is she?" Suki's eyes went wide with fake confusion. "Sir, Amara, Kwan cut her off. You said she would come to room 842. You said she'd have no choice but to comply. You took my money, you took my trust, and you failed me. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Where did she go? Suki tried to pull away. People were watching. Let me go. This isn't... Kwan leaned in close, his voice dropping to something lethal. You drugged her, didn't you? Suki's entire body went rigid. Where is she? Because she sure as hell didn't come to me. Suki stammered. She made excuses. She blamed confusion about room numbers. Kwan's laugh was the scariest thing she'd ever heard. You really think I'm stupid enough to believe that? He released her wrist but stepped closer. You sabotaged your own plan, or someone got to her first. He adjusted his cufflinks with the precision of a man preparing for war. If I find out who had her first, if I find out whose hands touched what belonged to me... He paused, his eyes turning to ice. They won't survive what comes next. And neither will you. The next morning, everything shattered. The hotel manager didn't waste words. Amara, you're terminated. Effective immediately, performance issues, inconsistency. Leave your badge. Amara sat there in stunned silence. Suki had done this. She had burned everything to the ground. There was no hearing, no chance to explain, just gone. And as other staff members whispered and stared, she understood the message. This was what happened when you forgot your place. This was what happened when you stepped above your station. But Kang Chi didn't know yet. He arrived at his office that morning looking like a man who had made a decision. His assistant was waiting with nervous energy radiating off her. Sir, about Amara. His eyes sharpened. What about her? She was fired. This morning, from the hotel. I have the documentation. Kang Chi's entire body went still. The silence lasted 3 seconds. It felt like forever. Then he leaned back in his chair and his voice came out controlled and deadly. Get me the manager's personal file, every email he's sent in the last 6 months, every call he's made, every decision he's made. I want to know if he had permission to fire her. I want to know if he followed protocol. And I want it on my desk in the next 30 minutes. His assistant rushed out. Kang Chi picked up his phone and made one call. I need to find someone. Today. Her name is Amara. She's going to be very hard to find because she's trying to disappear. Find her anyway. I don't care what it takes. The game had just changed completely. What nobody knew was that when you touch something powerful, something dangerous, something that has been waiting in the dark, it doesn't just let you go. And when a man who owns an entire media empire decides that you're his, there is no hiding. There is only the inevitable moment when he finds you. And what happens after that? Well, that's when the real story begins. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next part. The comments below are waiting for your theories on what's about to happen next.